Welcome to Business Book Daily, where we pull one useful idea from one business book and turn it into something you can actually use. Today's book is Poor Charlie's Almanack by Charles T. Munger. Munger was an investor, lawyer, businessman, and longtime vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, best known for his clear thinking, blunt wisdom, and partnership with Warren Buffett. Before we get into the book, today's episode is sponsored by CommissionOnly.com. Want to sell more without adding fixed sales salaries? Many companies hire commission-only reps, experienced sellers who get paid only when they produce. Post your opportunity on CommissionOnly.com and get in front of motivated reps who are already looking for performance-based roles. That's CommissionOnly.com. Now back to Poor Charlie's Almanack. The big idea is simple. Better business results come from better judgment, not louder opinions, not chasing every shiny opportunity, not pretending the smartest person in the room is always the one with the most complex spreadsheet and the firmest handshake. Poor Charlie's Almanack is a collection of speeches, ideas, and lessons on investing, business, psychology, and decision-making. The book argues that smart people make better decisions when they use mental models, understand human bias, stay inside what they truly know, and avoid obvious stupidity. That last part matters more than most people want to admit. A lot of business mistakes don't happen because people lack intelligence. They happen because people overestimate what they know, follow bad incentives, ignore warning signs, copy the crowd, or let emotion take over. The book's answer is to build a better way to think. Learn the big ideas from many fields: psychology, economics, math, business, biology, and history. Then use those ideas to judge problems from more than one angle. That matters because leaders make decisions under pressure. They hire, invest, negotiate, price, sell, manage risk, and choose strategy with incomplete information. Better thinking does not remove risk, but it helps people avoid foolish decisions before they become expensive. The first concept is mental models. Mental models are basic ideas that help you understand how the world works. Supply and demand is a mental model. Incentives are a mental model. Compounding, opportunity cost, competitive advantage, and human bias are all mental models. The point is not to sound smarter at dinner. The point is to make better decisions. If you only know one way to think, you'll force every problem through that one lens. But if you understand several useful models, you can look at a business decision from different angles. What are the incentives? What could compound over time? What are we giving up by choosing this? What behavior are we accidentally encouraging? What risk are we ignoring because the upside feels exciting? That is much better than marching into a decision armed with confidence and one half-remembered chart. The second concept is inversion. Instead of only asking how to succeed, ask how to fail. If you want a stronger company, ask what would destroy trust. What would waste cash? What would lose customers? What would drive good employees away? What would make this launch fail? What would turn this partnership into a mess? This is one of the simplest strategy tools in business because it cuts through optimism. People love talking about the dream version of a plan. Inversion asks them to look at the failure version before the real money gets spent. The third concept is incentives. Incentives shape behavior. People usually do what they are rewarded for doing, even when the official goal says something else. If sales teams are rewarded only for closing deals, they may bring in bad fit customers. If managers are rewarded only for short-term numbers, they may avoid long-term investments. If employees are praised for staying busy, they may protect activity instead of results. Incentives beat speeches. You can tell people what matters all day, but the reward system tells them what really matters, and eventually people listen to the reward system. The fourth concept is staying inside your circle of competence. This means knowing what you truly understand and where you are guessing. A person or company does not need to chase every opportunity. In fact, chasing every opportunity can be dangerous because confidence travels faster than competence. The smarter move is to know where you have real knowledge, where you have an edge, and where you should be careful. This applies to investing, but it also applies to hiring, partnerships, product launches, expansion plans, marketing channels, and new markets. Growth is good. Wandering into things you don't understand and calling it ambition is how very expensive lessons get born. The fifth concept is avoiding big mistakes. A lot of business success comes from preventing avoidable damage. Do not take reckless risks. Do not use too much debt. Do not partner with people you cannot trust. Do not ignore bad incentives. Do not pretend bad numbers are just early-stage character development. Avoiding one huge mistake can matter more than making several clever moves. So how do you apply this? Start by improving how your team makes decisions. Before a major hire, launch, partnership, price change, or investment, ask which mental models apply. Look at incentives, risk, customer behavior, cash flow, competition, and second-order effects. Next, use inversion. Ask what would make the decision fail. This quickly exposes weak assumptions, hidden risks, and problems people may not want to say out loud. Then check incentives. Make sure your team's rewards match the behavior you actually want. If the incentives are wrong, even good people may create bad outcomes. Finally, define your circle of competence. Be clear about where your company has real advantage and where it is just guessing. Growth is good, but undisciplined growth can pull a business into areas it does not understand. Here are 3 insights worth sharing. First, better decisions come from better mental models and avoiding obvious errors. Second, inversion is one of the simplest strategy tools in business. Ask what would make the plan fail, then remove those risks before you move forward. Third, incentives beat speeches. If people are rewarded for the wrong behavior, the company will eventually get the wrong behavior. Poor Charlie's Almanack is worth reading if you want to make better business, investing, hiring, and strategy decisions. It's also useful if you want to understand mental models, incentives, bias, and practical judgment in plain language. You might skip it if you want a short, step-by-step operating manual instead of a wide-ranging collection of speeches and ideas. Today's closing sponsor is memoirghostwriting.com. Many of the best business books begin as ideas leaders have been refining for years, frameworks, philosophies, and lessons learned the hard way. Writing the book forces those ideas into clear form, and once they're on the page, they can travel far beyond a single conversation or presentation. At memoirghostwriting.com, we write memoirs and business books for entrepreneurs, founders, executives, and industry experts. We handle the interviews, structure, writing, editing, design, and publishing, so the final product is polished, professional, and built around your voice. If you've ever thought about what a business book could do for your authority, speaking, consulting, lead generation, or legacy, visit memoirghostwriting.com. That's it for today's Business Book Daily. One book, one useful idea, and one smarter way to build.